Okay, we are back in Orion. Where we last left off, Sam made the first time jump on his own in order to escape from Mari, and now we're back home. We just don't know the date or how much time we have left, but we're closer to being in the right direction, right? That's something. Anyway, back home from my strange time jump, I begin a search around the home for my brother. I check the pad, which indicates it's still 3 days in the past, or 3 days before this whole mess started. I check the kitchen. He's still not here. That means he must be at work.
Virgil, what happens to the Sam that existed before I got here?
Space-time has a unique way of adjusting itself for those who travel through it. It'll make your entrance here as if preordained. But too much of these shifts could cause instability in the fabric of space-time.
I look down at Virgil, feeling defeated that I can't find Loka, but more confused at these time antics. It's incredibly hard to wrap my head around it. The way he describes time is as if it has a mind of its own. I still don't know if my brother would even believe me. This whole mess is insane. To think our government would really want to destroy this place. I know we're not the greatest adherents of unionism, but there has to be something more. God, just thinking about this is getting me frustrated. I hate the feeling of having no control over what's going on. I don't even know how to control my powers. What if something goes wrong when I use them again?
Your brother may not be the best person to speak to.
What do you mean?
Unfortunately, there's very little he can do about all of this.
But Cyrus said I'm artificial. Had something happen to me to give me this power.
I'm not really sure where to go now. Well, let's follow Virgil for at least a little time, because if he is who I suspect he is, he's on our side, but I am kind of taking a shot in the dark here. What? Why can't I? These two have a great knack for coming at the wrong moment. What the heck do they want?
You seem lost, Sam. Do you need our help?
Ooh, that's right. We're going to give you all the help you need.
Oh, right. The bullying that happened before the assembly hasn't taken place in their minds. Seems like they're just built to be assholes. This is the last thing I need right now. My fists ball up inside me as I stare Zachary right in the eyes. My home is going to be destroyed if I don't figure out a plan, or at least figure out if Virgil can help me find someone who can do something I can't. These two have been a thorn in my side for too long. It's about damn time I stop this, today.
No, I don't need your help. Now, if you'd excuse me, I have much more important things to do than listen to your cocky voice.
I take a step to the side, hoping to move around the taller of the two, but he grabs my arm and stops me completely.
I didn't say that you can leave.
I didn't say you could touch me.
You gonna take that, Zach?
Unlike last time, Zachary doesn't tell his sister off. He just glares at me with that stupid expression that he overuses. I wouldn't be surprised if it stuck to his face for the rest of his life. He doesn't do anything, waiting as if to test whether my determination is just a facade. And they're missing the cedilla on facade. I have news for him. It's not.
Zach!
I nail him right in the gut as hard as I can. It feels good, in a strange way I don't understand. This is the first and only time I've ever stood up for myself. Sure, I've cursed at them before, but the few times I do anything else, it ends up failing. We have to show mercy. We're playing heroically. He lets go of my arm, and for a moment, I know I have the space to hit him again. Instead, I take a step back, letting it sink in for him. Hold on, what? Isn't she Zavera? Wasn't that his voice? I don't know. He gets back up, a huge grin on his face that I've never seen before. There's always been that arrogant smirk, but this, a genuine positive emotion? I didn't think he was capable of it.
Didn't think you had it in you, Sam.
My own expression softens, but I'm still confused. What does he mean? Have I been bullied all this time just because they thought I was weak? That's disgusting.
I'm sorry for stopping you just now. Consider us even.
I can't believe this. Does he expect me to just forgive him for all these years of abuse?
You think we're good now?
Well, my perception of you has definitely changed.
You've been hurting me for years.
You don't have to accept his words, Sam. But he doesn't say it often.
This feels so wrong. I can't find any happiness in knowing that I had to punch someone for them to respect me. These two are one of the most aggressive PAX teams out there, so I can somewhat understand their thinking. But I don't know how that can excuse this. Zachary walks over to me without the tenseness I felt from him earlier. I can't be sure, but it appears he can tell I'm not buying what he has to say. For someone like him, maybe he sincerely wants me to accept his apology.
Sam, look. I know it's not gonna make it up for everything that's happened, but I really do feel bad about this. I feel like we picked on you unfairly. Pax is frustrating, you know?
I just look at him. That's not enough to make me feel better.
If you want to come over and watch a few games, that would be cool. Hell, maybe you'd love to try it out.
That's a strange offer. From everything I know about these two, they're very private people. To literally invite me into their home just as a gesture of forgiveness? The last person I thought was my friend completely betrayed me. These two have been against me from the start. What's the value of tagging along with them? Luca at least gives me some kind of protection in all this. Though even he can't do anything about the whole section being destroyed, though. Virgil is sent to me with a great deal of knowledge. He hasn't shared a great deal, but his understanding of things is clear. Is it worth taking a shot? Let's ask Virgil. I tell him to wait, forcing him to stand there awkwardly as I type my question into the pad. Should I go with them, I ask Virgil. Without missing a beat, he gives me a visual nod on the screen. He then answers the question I had on my mind.
There's value in using PAX to find the answers, Sam. Luca can't do anything for you now.
I'll take you up on your offer, Zachary.
That smile from before returns. Did a punch really do all this? As I walk into the Kaitos home, I'm struck by how normal it is. I don't know what I expected in the place where two people who bullied me lived, but it certainly wasn't this. I mean, I'm sure they're normal people underneath their despicable behavior. The reality of it is nonetheless strange. They give me some space in the middle of the room. The two of them probably want to check on their PAX link-ups. Virgil's message on the subject is still confusing. What could be beneficial from talking to these two gamers?
Still don't understand why I'm here.
Whether you understand or not isn't the point. PAX is a highly useful tool for our purposes.
I don't know whether I can take Virgil seriously anymore. His plans seem to bounce around from the smallest of changes. He could simply be trying to adapt to the circumstances, but it becomes annoying rather quickly.
The PAX game is hosted through the central computer system. Understanding its mechanics will give you a direct, inside connection to the thing you fear most.
And that's kind of what I suspected. PAX would be our gateway into something bigger.
The destruction of Section 6.
If you learn the ins and outs well enough, you'll be able to destroy the program files itself. No more program, no destruction.
Aren't there any backups?
Not on the ship. Central computing systems of each ring back up their data and pieces on other ships. But reassembling the copy from the backup pieces on the other ships would take days. By then, you'd have plenty of time to spread the news.
The central computers also house the communications system. If I can get there in time, I can even do a dual strike against the government. And yet, it's strange to think that the game is what will get me inside.
Couldn't I just go in by myself?
What you must do is secure enough victories for the system to promote your link-up signal. If it becomes high enough, your match would be hosted by the main server itself. That'd give you the best chance to do the dirty work and make it out A-okay.
Let's say I even get there. How will I know what to do?
Your powers will be the key as always, Sam. Trust your instincts.
So rewind until we get it right. Got it. It honestly sounds too good to be true. We need a video game to gain access to the deepest part of the ship's system. But I'm here in the middle of the Kaitos home, for goodness sakes. If Luca is stuck in some engineering program and Kiyomi isn't a good angle, perhaps this is the best option I've got. At the same time, Virgil's plan requires me to actually win some PAX games. I've never even played a single one. That tricky computerized bastard. He sent me here so I could follow the coattails of the siblings. Interesting plan. Now I need to actually get them to like me. Where do they go anyway?
Hey, Zach. You know, I've actually never played a game of PAX before.
Really? Never? You've seen it, right?
Only a few times. I just don't understand how it works.
What do you say we give him an up-close look, Zach?
Sounds good to me.
They decide to take me to another room in the home where the link-up system is kept. I'm hesitant to use it, but at second glance, it doesn't seem that bad. After all, it's just something to plug into my pad. The field itself is absolutely amazing. The little I know about the game doesn't compare at all to how fantastical it is in person. Well, it's not really me physically here, more like my mind is tapped in. This technology, it's fascinating. Zachary and Zavera go through how the game is played. The objective of the game is to disable your opponents. That's done by physically going up to them and striking them so their defenses drop. Usually they play in teams of two, though there can be more in rare cases. One individual stands at the very back of the board directing the actions of the other. In order to assist them, they can change elements of the battlefield, give weapons to their partner, or increase their defense points. But the only way they have value on hand to get that done is to solve a complex array of puzzles. This explains Zachary so much better. His intellect is tested to do puzzles and complex problems at high speed with no error. If he makes any mistake in finishing the problem, they can get a large chunk of their points removed. There's a catch though. Because it takes some time to get these abilities, there's an inherent value in taking out the general player before the attacker. This has come into play with the common strategy of hooking, where the attacker will do everything they can to get around their opponent's attackers so they can disable the general. Even if the opposing attacker is strong and fast, they'll only be able to use their own body as a weapon. In a game like PAX, that isn't much. The hooking strategy makes a quick victory easy, but it also means a team's overuse of the tactic will leave them at a disadvantage if they can't get it done. Zavera explains that she and her brother almost always use this strategy. It's how they become so strong in the game. By perfecting a dangerous tool, they've mastered something no one else can counter. Of course, this is all moot if things don't go as planned. After a bit of practice moving around the virtual field, they let me take a rest so I can absorb all this information. Their parents also work in engineering, so they allow me to stay here for the time being. To say it feels awkward is the understatement of the 25th century. But I don't have a choice. The last thing I want to do is spend time in my home without Loka. Even if he's done from the massive shift, he's likely in no mood to talk about anything, much less the destruction of the world. Amazing how things work out that way. Zach decides to cool off in the kitchen, leaving just me and Zavera in the living room.
You handled everything well today, Sam.
Huh? Oh, thanks. I guess.
I don't know why she's come over here. She sits at the very far end of the couch, which doesn't make this any less uncomfortable. Her face, though, carries something I haven't seen before.
You alright, Zavera?
At first, she doesn't answer. She just sits there, looking at nothing. She slowly turns towards me again. It's like she waited for the answer to fall into her hands.
All these years of being nasty to you. I guess we just let our behavior in PAX spill over into the real world.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I feel bad.
Not as bad as I felt.
No one else would ever take what we did seriously. Only you.
Right.
So you found the weakest person as your target.
She turns away from me, eyes focused on the floor. I hear nothing, but that tells me everything I need to know.
I don't think I'll ever be able to fully forgive you or Zachary. But you two can help me do something that I can't do alone. It won't make up for everything, but it'll be a good start.
At those words, she looks back, giving me the smallest of smiles. Maybe there's some humanity in her yet.
Fair enough for me, Sam.
Everything leaves my mouth so easily. I begin to tell her everything that's happened. Zachary returns from the kitchen as we are talking, intrigued by the conversation. The two of them just listen patiently. I never believed I would have their attention in this kind of way, but I do. They're practically glued to everything I have to say. The destruction of Section 6, what happened with Cyrus, everything. I don't think I go as far as to tell them about Cyrus, but okay. The two look at each other, passing skeptical glances, but the level of detail I'm able to give is enough to convince them. Or so they tell me.
The third member of the team.
But it'll be fine, Zach. He's a smart little guy. He'll be useful.
Awesome.
It's strange, but I feel like I'm finally talking to the real Kaitos twins. But with them on my side, my chances of success just went way up. We decide that I'm going to enter the battlefield with them. I should observe their tactics in game. For the first time, they let me enter the PAX field during an actual match. There's a feature that allows me to spectate within the game. It's incredibly useful to see how their strategy works. I'm amazed. I didn't think that would be this successful, but it throws their opponents to shambles. This very easily takes out the general, moving at a nearly inhuman speed. Zachary's at the edge of the field, computing problems like he's a computer. I wouldn't have believed if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, but here they are. The Kaitos siblings really are the perfect team. And if that's true, then there must be a risk to me joining. What kind of trouble adding something completely unexpected? The two nevertheless insist. They want to make up for everything, even if in this small way. Game on. And that's the end of the chapter. Okay, don't give me a voice. Okay, good. So, we'll put the break in here. We apparently have some new allies. We'll have to find out how sincere they are and stuff like that. But there's still a bit more in this game to unfold. And to be completely honest, I don't know how long the game actually is. Like, I was wondering if each chapter in-game would have been like a day, but we're, what, chapter 4, and we're still 3 days before we started. So I'm not sure how this is all going to play out, but we have time to figure that out. And hopefully we'll start in the next video. Until then, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.